The richest people in your neighbourhood don't look rich at all. These are people who could buy a Bentley but choose to drive a Honda, wear a Rolex but choose to wear Casio instead. These are people with millions of dollars to their name, but you'd never have any idea because they look, well, just like you and I. In today's video, we're going to be discussing the 7 habits of quietly wealthy people and how you can start implementing these habits in your life starting now. Oh, by the way, if you're new here, my name is Willis. I'm a qualified accountant who also makes YouTube videos on the side about all things money, personal finance, and personal development. And in my line of work, I've seen 2 different types of wealth. First, there's the flashy kind that's often propped up with credit. And second, there's the quiet kind that builds true financial freedom over time. Habit number 1 is automating everything. Quietly wealthy people don't leave wealth building to chance. They set up automatic transfers between their checking account where they get paid and their savings and investments accounts to make sure that those transfers are happening even without them thinking about them. They also put bills on autopay, meaning that they never have to worry about paying bills on time because they know it's all taken care of. And what this does is it removes any kind of willpower from the equation whatsoever. Because if your bills are paid automatically, there's no chance you're going to miss them. And if your savings and investments are being filled up from your checking account automatically without you having to physically make those transfers yourself, then the chances of you sticking to your saving and investing habit are so much higher. Because at the end of the day, if your money's in your checking account, chances are you're probably going to spend it, right? And ultimately, the money you don't see is the money you don't spend. The second habit of quietly wealthy people is they look for value over price. Flashy wealth says, how much does this cost and is it going to look good on me right now? Quiet wealth says, is this going to add value to my life 3 months from today? You see, quietly wealthy people buy things for durability, value, and return on investment. They don't buy them for how they look immediately now or any kind of instant gratification. Here's an example. A quietly wealthy person might buy good quality shoes that last for 5 years, but flashy wealth, that buys bright coloured trainers that just completely fall apart within 12 months. And this is the key mindset shift here, is that worth matters more than price or brand. It's like that Warren Buffett quote that goes something along the lines of, price is what you pay, value is what you get. Habit number 3 is that they focus on net worth and not income. Most people brag about salary. They say, I'm on 6 figures a year and therefore I'm rich. But what the quietly wealthy focus on is their assets minus their liabilities, which equals their net worth. Because the problem is, you can earn 6 figures and still be broke. I know plenty of people that earn 6 figures and just spend every single penny that they earn every month. And so they're essentially still living paycheck to paycheck, despite earning way more than the national average. But here's the truth, even on a modest income, regularly saving and investing in the right things over a long period of time can build true wealth. And this is because of the effect of compound interest. Habit number 4 is thinking in decades, not days. You see, quietly wealthy people, they play the long game. They understand the power of compound interest. They understand that it's slow at first, but then exponentially grows in the future. And another one of Warren Buffett's rules is, if you're not willing to hold a stock for 10 years, don't even think about holding it for 10 minutes. And this habit is all about patience. You see, most people quit before the compounding effect can start to kick in. Habit number 5 is that they have multiple income streams. The problem with having one paycheck is that it's quite fragile. If you were to lose your job, all of your income goes down the drain in an instant. Quietly wealthy people focus on investments, rental properties, stocks, side businesses to try and maximize their income through lots of different sources. And the key here is that quietly wealthy people, their wealth is growing while they sleep and they're not relying completely on one employer, which is risky. Habit number 6 is avoiding lifestyle inflation. Most people spend every raise. Quiet wealth assumes the raise never happened. And the quietly wealthy people focus on increasing the gap between their income and their expenses, because the bigger their gap between their income and their expenses, the more freedom they have. And the key here is that a bigger paycheck does not equal a bigger lifestyle. A bigger paycheck should equal a bigger wealth gap between your income and your expenses. And habit number 7 is that they respond and don't react. Every few years there is some kind of financial crisis, but in the event of a crisis, the quietly wealthy people don't panic. All they do is they cut unnecessary expenses calmly, and once the dust settles, they might actually look to invest in things that are considered undervalued at the time. For example, if housing prices crash, well, the chances are one day they're going to go back up again. And so the quietly wealthy people, they might focus on actually acquiring some of those undervalued properties at the time, because they know in the long term, the value of those properties is still probably going to go up far beyond what they were even before the crash. And a third and final Warren Buffett quote that goes nicely with this habit is to be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. That calm, strategic mindset in the event of a crisis is a wealth habit. Ultimately, quiet wealth brings 3 main things. The first is stability, not through just a high salary, but through lasting assets. The second is peace of mind, because you have a bit of a financial buffer when things go wrong. And thirdly is satisfaction, because quietly wealthy people know that they don't need to prove anything to anyone. Ultimately, quiet wealth is freedom. So here's the truth. The quietly wealthy are the truly rich. Here's a quick recap of the 7 habits from this video. Habit number 1 is to automate everything. Habit number 2 is to focus on value over price. Habit number 3 is to focus on net worth over income. Habit number 4 is to think long term. Habit number 5 is to have multiple streams of income. Habit number 6 is to avoid lifestyle inflation. And habit number 7 is, in the event of a crisis, just respond. Don't react. Which of these 7 habits are you going to start building today? Let me know in the comments section below. And if you want to see how the boring basics can make people rich, click here and I'll see you on the other side.